You don't get an opinion. You're black. No, I'm not, bitch. I'm half white and half black, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Hey, I know y'all just watched that video, so today I'm gonna try to be a little lighthearted. These are videos of me reacting to how racism works, kinda. I want y'all to see this because this is gonna be my first upload to my new channel. Well, since my first upload.
Mom's like, well, because her dad doesn't want her to get too dark. And I'm like, that's dumb. But I have the genetic fortune that half of my skin color is the super white.
Super white, like the tuna.
Super.
I'm kidding.
like
I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if y'all are black, but have y'all ever been in a situation like this? I can't tell you how many situations like that I've been in, like where I literally get uncomfortable because people say offensive things. Like, you know, like when people like, I'm not an easily offended person, but when people are literally saying racist shit, it kind of pisses me off because I'm like sometimes you debate on saying something, but then sometimes you don't. Like, cause you're just like, I'm not gonna waste my time arguing with them. So it's just keep it to yourself. That's how this woman is doing. Like, you can tell it's kind of pissing her off, but she's just like, fuck it. It is what it is.
That's what my mom likes to call herself. She goes, I am Wonder Bread. It is all like, he's like European, Scandinavian on my mom's side, like all of that. She goes, there ain't a drop of color in here. So, yeah, I've done genetics to never get too dark on that side of the family, so I did.
I ain't gonna lie, shout out to this lady though for not making a scene. She's just recording it while she's eating. At least she knows who her real friends are that she works with and the ones who ain't. I mean, hey, that's all I can say. Look, if I heard my coworker saying some stuff like this and we were cool, I wouldn't be cool with them after that, and I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't really fuck with them like that. So I've had a few people who try to do that, like when people say, hey, not to be racist, but as soon as I hear people say something like that, I'm like, yo, I'm finna hear the most racist shit of all time. And then they're gonna laugh about it, thinking shit funny, but it's really not. But that's my thing with this. It's one thing if you're saying a black man to describe something, than to actually just like straight up be racist about it. I don't think people understand it's not funny. Like, racism is not funny. Like, I get it. People want jokes and stuff. I'm a comedian. I joke all the time. But I mean, yeah, I say like this race, it's not something you really want to joke with. Because some people, it's not funny. Like, I'm gonna be honest, for a lot of people, that they don't find that stuff funny.
It's like, yo, it's funny. No, I'm not doing half the stuff you want me to do. I'm gonna go outside in my short sleeves and my Bermuda shorts and sit in the sun and get tan against the wishes of my grandparents. But
Grandparents are very traditional that way.
oh, they are.
Like,
I ain't gonna lie, the craziest thing about this video is the fact that this lady is in there and they're openly saying it. Like, they're not even trying to hide it or nothing. They're just saying it with that lady present. Like, damn. Man, what is that nerve?
I had a whole separate wardrobe for California that I wore with them because the stuff I wore at home and with my mom's parents was. No, I don't think having like a giant death metal band t-shirt in front of a whole bunch of Muslims was great.
that's probably true.
Yeah.
Well, that would be true.
My friends, my high school friends, one time they like, first time they came over, my one friend, I was like, we're looking for something, and going through my room, I'm like, whatever. And she looked at my wardrobe, she goes, why do you have like 2 separate things? And I was like, oh, I go, she goes, and she looked at me, she goes, I've never seen you in any of these shirts. And I go, oh yeah, and you're probably never going to. And she's like, what? I go, yeah, that's my California clothes. And she's like, what do you mean your California clothes? I go, when I'm in California.
got a book called 100 Years of Lynching, written by white men. Taking black women who was 4 months pregnant, they took us for years and hung us up at the feet and stuck a dagger in the stomach and ripped it and pulled the unborn baby out just to put fear in other slaves. They tied up black people to horses and 2 horses and pulled his arms out and pulled his legs out. Lemonade trains with white children and white people of America used to come and watch them tie up 10 or 15 black men and pour gasoline on them and burn them, watch them burn alive. They took us and hung us up with trees and shot us with bullets. They took and cut a hand off and gave it to the little boy and they took the leg off. And this is worse than the devil.
All right, but
See, the devil, the preacher in the church taught us that the devil was up under the ground.
Right.
And he'll wait till he died before he burn us up. This white devil in America was worse because he burned us while we was alive.
First things first, I just want to say rest in peace to Muhammad Ali and RIP to your brother who recently just passed away also. I will say, good. Sorry, it's a truck passing by. I'm not saying I will say, yeah. This stuff really happened. That's why I say racism is not funny. Like, it's really not funny. When you say negative things to people because they got a different skin tone, you have a jealousy, your jealousies that you have towards another group of people that didn't do nothing to you is kind of crazy to me. But, yeah. I just want to
Black people need to stop complaining about systemic racism and take some personal responsibility. Everyone is equal under the law now. They may be policed more, but that's only because they commit a disproportionate amount of the crime. Why? Well, I'm not saying that black people are naturally more likely to be criminals or anything. I just think it's a part of their culture. Why? Well, probably because their dads weren't around to raise them properly. Why? I don't know, probably because they were too poor to afford a kid, so they left. Why? Well, they probably can't get a good job because they never went to college. Why? Well, I guess it is probably because they couldn't afford it, but they didn't get good enough grades to get a scholarship either. Why? Well, I guess that is probably because their school is underfunded. Why? Because school funding is determined by property taxes and they were born into poor areas. Why? Because their family hasn't been able to build enough wealth to move out. Why? Because the first black people who were born with equal rights under the law are less than 60 years old.
shout out to bro for that video. And that's why I say I hate when people say racism doesn't exist. My grandma is 74 years old. Racism didn't end until 60 years ago, quote unquote. 60 years ago. So Jim Crow didn't end until 60 years ago. It was 1965. My grandma was born in 1951, and she's still alive to this day. A lot of people find that crazy. The first ever woman the first ever child who integrated, Ruby Bridges. This lady's 70 right now. She was a child when the integration started. And as a child, she was a literal child, and the amount of shit that she had to go through was bullshit. It's utter bullshit. And this is why I say this to black people. I'm like, look, when y'all hear people say racist things towards you, look the other way about it, but remember that these people said that about you. Like, if somebody's gonna say something wild and racist, if they say that stuff to your face, I ain't gonna lie, I don't blame you for punching them. If you do, like, I ain't gonna lie, I really don't. But I say it like this, people just act like racism was so far ago, like so long ago it happened. Oh, it happened so long ago, yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, it's crazy. If we were the slaves, let's say we was here for 400 years working on the property. How in the world are we the poorest people in this country? We was the ones that built damn near everything. Let that sink in. That's the type of country we live in. Let that shit sink in. People got the nerve to come up to us telling us we need to get out of our bootstraps, and we done did all the damn work. We built everything, and they still tell us that. But it is.
Hi, my name's Kylie, and here are some things that white people say without realizing they're being racist.
Moved a lot growing up. Sometimes I was in rural, homogenous white areas, and other times it was diverse urban areas. But regardless,
I'm kind of glad she said that. She said the term urban. Usually when they refer to the term urban, that means black, like inner city. When they say inner city people, black people. They use these code words like thug. Like whenever black people do something bad, they use the term thug. Like J.D. Vance, when he called those black people who were defending themselves thugs. It's crazy. A black man defending himself is a thug now. Shout out to J.D. Vance. You know what you said. We thugs. We're thugs for defending ourselves. I mean, y'all might as well tell Carmelo Anthony he's one too. 'Cause, I mean, shit. Anytime it's black and you defend yourself, you don't have the rights to defend yourself. So, I mean, with this country, ain't no fucking telling. Like, I hate, people say all this stuff, oh, yada, yada, you got the right to do this, you got the right to do, no, you don't. As a black man, you ain't got the rights to do shit. Except for sit your black ass down. That's all.
here are some things that I've heard. Number one, coming in hot, we have when a white person is telling a story and they mention the race of the person for no reason. That waitress, and then mention how she was Hispanic as if that somehow has something to do with her character. Number two, telling a story about someone from a different race and then doing an accent to make the story come to life. Number three, saying the N-word in rap music or other songs because it's going too fast to skip it. Number four, thinking that their lack of skill when it comes to sports is because they're white and not because, in fact, they are unathletic. Yes, they have actually said this. I've had a white boy tell me he would have gone to the NBA if he was black.
First things first, dog. Just because you're black does not mean you're going to the NBA. Second thing, bro, it's so much stuff that it takes to get to the NBA, bro. A lot of people, I'm like, bro, based on your mentality, you think just because if you were black alone, you were gonna go to the league, you was never gonna go to the league, dog.
Number five, assuming that hearing people in public speaking a different language means they are talking badly about you. Specifically, nail techs or wait staff, because white people think everything is about them. Like for part two.
I will say I've noticed something, and I hate to be that guy, but have y'all noticed the most offended people are not the black people that get the racist shit said to them? It's always the white people that are more offended as soon as you call them out for their actual history. I'm just saying, I don't know if y'all noticed that, but there's a lot of white people that say, hey, white men are the most oppressed men because everybody hates us and has something to say about us. I mean, I know y'all have seen comments like that, and I'm like, these people are idiots.
Is America a systemically racist country? 100% yes. And I never understand when the right balks at this. We tell you that the government is corrupt, that it is evil. Why do we try to push back when people say it's racist? We had institutionalized slavery in this country, followed by Jim Crow, that entrenched laws upon laws upon laws. Does that mean everybody working in our government is currently racist? No. Does that?
I mean, I beg your pardon on that one. I ain't gonna lie. Most of these politicians, I ain't gonna lie, they're racist as hell. They might not say it openly, but it's different. We see the undertones, like J.P. Vance referring to those black men in Cincinnati who defended that other black man from that racist white man who smacked that man in the face. Apparently they're thugs for defending that man. But, I mean, yeah, most of them are racist. I mean, J.D. Vance, he told black men if you defend yourself, you're a thug. I don't think that's not racist. I've never heard them refer to white people who commit crimes as thugs. The white man that actually committed that crime in Cincinnati didn't get arrested, but all the black people who defended did. And the crazy thing about that man was the actual thug in the situation. But yet, everybody's like, oh, well, he didn't deserve that whooping. We don't care what he said. And I'm like, yeah, y'all.
We still have laws on the books that were put there with racist intent or that have racially disproportionate outcomes. 100% yes. Look at the public school system where we had redlining that determined where people lived based on their zip codes and their skin color for decades. And that now determines how much money goes to their public schools. And this is why you see black kids trapped in cycles of poverty in our government schools for decades and decades and decades. That's why we need school choice. These arguments support our policies that we're pushing for because we actually want.
She says school choice. It's not school choice that we need. We need just better systems, better educational systems, a better government. Like, let's get a whole new government. The government is the problem. I mean, they spend 3 times more money on prison and jails than they do on school. John D. Rockefeller spent more money in our government and school. education was never an American thing or the United States thing. They never wanted that here. This government never wanted the people to be educated. They always wanted us to be stupid so they could do all types of shit. That's why they stopped teaching us cursive, because all the whole Constitution was written in cursive. What they're trying to do, they're waiting on these younger kids to grow up and these older people to die so that they can actually change the Constitution. Bet y'all didn't know that. Well, now you know. That's the type of government we work for. This government is not a good government. I don't care what side you're on, right wing, left wing, it's all around terrible. I don't vote either way. Hate them all. I think they all should be in prison.
See all communities lifted up. Look at the criminal justice system. You have 95 million traffic stops that were looked at between 2011 and 2018 across 56 different police agencies. And they found that black people were more than 2 times likely to be pulled over. That disparity lessened at night when cops couldn't see them. They were more likely to be searched than white people, more likely to be caught with drugs, even though white people do drugs at similar levels. Black men are 2.5 times more likely to be killed by police. They're 3.5 times more likely to be arrested for pot, despite both races using those drugs at similar rates. They get 20% longer sentences for the same crimes.
And that is a fact. And that's the problem with the justice system. They call it justice, and there's no such thing as justice. The prison population is 80+% black and Hispanic. That's a problem, because blacks and Hispanics do not commit more crimes than everybody. They're just the ones that have to serve time more than anybody. Don't you see? You see the way the cycle works? To black people, black and brown people in this country, we're basically prisoners. We're prisoners and primitive workers. That's how they look at us. They just want us, if we're not slaves, we're no good. So, yeah.
When we look at this is a 2017 U.S. Sentencing Commission. When it comes to gun crimes, gun laws were put into place to explicitly block black people from being able to access their rights to self-defense in this country, and boy, do they still work to this day. Black people are far more likely to be charged with gun crimes. They are more likely to be arrested and sentenced for longer time periods when they are caught. As a whole, there are still so many areas across this country where we are continuing to see the government harm people of color at disproportionate rates. And what that should tell you is that we need to limit this freaking government and get it out of people's ways and giving it the power to do this to people. That's the end game.
I ain't gonna lie. If we really got rid of the government, we don't need it. Like, black people, I can speak for black people. I know for a fact. Without this U.S. government, we would be thriving. 100%. The U.S. government is the only thing holding us back. It's a terrible government, and that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to hold us back so we don't catch white people. But the sad part is, we're more capable than they are. We would have a much better society without white people than we were with white people. And I'm not saying that to be racist or anything. I don't mind white people having their own societies. I'm just saying, I think it's crazy that we're forced to live amongst them. And I'm not saying we shouldn't live amongst them, we should harm them or nothing. I'm saying we should be able to have our own place. If we don't want to be around white people, there should be places we can go. We don't have to be around white people. Because white people got that same thing. I mean, hell, in Arkansas, the state that I live in, they just bought up land in that one town, the Ozark Mountains. And I'm like, black people, we tried that so many times. I mean, it's like there's a massacre in literally every state. Almost every state, black people. Whenever we had our own cities, we had Seneca Village, Tulsa. I mean, shoot, the list goes on and on. Now, Lake Lanier, look at that, yeah. But yeah, it's so many places. But, yeah.
I'm gonna find out who it was. Who's calling you?
Who?
Manager?
No, him right there? Cooking food?
The white boy calling you?
He don't hear nobody, he don't hear us having this conversation.
So he shouldn't still be working.
And I'm gonna have a talk with him right now.
You need to have that talk or I'll have that talk. So figure it out quickly. Yeah, they should be terminated. I want to know if they're going to be terminated. If they're not going to be terminated, we need to go to the next step.
Yeah,
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
Now,
I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad black people are starting to do more of this. We sticking up for each other now. I don't know if y'all seen that video. That black woman in New York, she got beat by those foreigners. And then all of a sudden, the whole hood showed up for her, waiting on them folks to come out. And they didn't want to come out and fight a black man, but they were quick to beat on that black woman. But I like that the community doing this now. We're pulling up. We're pulling up deep. if these white men want to come at our women like that, we need to go 50 deep in men and then show them like, hey, you was doing that to a woman. Since you want to do that to a woman, we're gonna jump your ass now. Since you thought it was funny, to go harass that black woman. You a white man, you know good and well you a man. But okay, we handle it. And that's the way that they did. And I love the way that they handled that. 'Cause the way that they did, they didn't cause no scene or nothing. They just went up there and was like, what's up, bro? Bro didn't want to keep that same energy with them grown men. But you see how pussy he is. That dude's a pussy, man. That dude he shouldn't get no respect. He should. Yeah, they did right by firing his ass, punk ass.
That's how you handle racism. Denise, the one who works at this restaurant, said that someone called her the N-word, and she called her family, and they showed up deep, as they should. But if you notice something about this video, they didn't cause a disturbance. They didn't get violent. They didn't even cuss anybody out. They just asked for his termination. They're upset, but they're calm. They're collected. That is how you handle racism.
Okay, now, I see what she's saying. Sometimes you need to be calm, but there are times where you don't need to be calm. Like, if that man would have came at that woman aggressively and threatened to hit her or something like that, that's when you need to come at him that same. I'm gonna teach my kids, like, I ain't gonna lie, I don't have any kids here. I'm one of those people, when I was growing up, I was taught to treat others the way you want to be treated. That's the wrong mentality. Do not treat people like that. Treat people the way they treat you. If people come at you aggressive, you go at them as aggressive verb. Show them you're the dominant one. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I had to learn to start being more like that, because I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, some of these people, they will try you, and sometimes you might have to, I ain't gonna lie, if you gotta snatch somebody and hurt them, it is what it is. But I say it like that. Sometimes it is times where you need to be calm. But if somebody's yelling at you in your face, calling you the whore you are, you need to be aggressive as hell and know that you're willing to defend your life. I say it like
Now,
that.
I understand that not everyone can react in a cool, calm, collected manner when they're dealing with racism. But I hope this video can encourage you that you can receive better results if you're just calm, cool, and collected.
This situation, it worked being calm, cool, and collected. I've seen plenty of videos of racists flipping out at people, and they were being calm, cool, and collected, and it didn't get any better. So I say it like this, depending on how they come off at you is how you need to go with them. I'm just
Imagine if they got super upset and started yelling, then maybe the employees would have called the cops on them. It's possible that they wouldn't have even fired him. It's hard to reason with somebody or understand the position that they're coming from when they're coming at you in a aggressive way. Major props for them showing up for their family member. That's love. And if you agree with me, follow me and maybe we can spread some love together.
Black people in Mexico were not even acknowledged until recent years. Their presence was not acknowledged by the government up until very recent years. But yet, they have been there since days of slavery. You understand? So, since the days of slavery, a lot of the slaves in North America, in the United States, a lot of the slaves ran to Mexico to hide.
That is actually 100% true. So during the Gullah Wars and the Seminole Wars, these were the wars that black people had with the government. They try to hide these wars because they know we indigenous, and they try to keep pushing that African American shit. And I'm like, they're so full of shit. If y'all black people nowadays, black Americans, and you still believe you from Africa, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all can keep learning that bullshit, keep being a Pan-African, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it's bullshit. It's 100% bullshit, and I hate that you niggas still believe that shit, because we didn't come off no slave ships from Africa. We didn't. But that's neither here nor there. But during this war, basically Mexico was the first country to actually allow freedom in the Americas from slavery during the colonial times. So a lot of Seminoles actually fled to Florida, but some of them also stayed in the States. Hence, that's why I'm in the States right now, not in Mexico. It's my family, they stayed in the States.
A lot of them have been living there. And not only that, but a lot of these Spaniards, they brought some slaves to Mexico too. So black people have been in Mexico for hundreds of years. But Mexican government has not acknowledged their presence until very recent years. And that is why I made a video and called it Afro-Mexican because these people have been there for many years with their own communities, speaking Spanish, of course, but they acknowledge their African ancestry. They acknowledge it.
I don't know what it is with people thinking being black is like anonymous or synonymous with being African. I don't know where people get the term African and black confused. Like, we're not the same. We're black people. We just have dark skin. That does not mean we're from Africa. There's dark skinned people on every continent. That were aboriginals to every continent because we were the first people were black people. But I guess they think migration happened. We all migrated from Africa, and I'm like, nah. I just don't like the whole idea. Everybody says Africa is the motherland. And I'm like, if Africa is the motherland, why are black people the only ones that identify as African? I want all y'all to let that sink in. And then for any of y'all who disagree with me on the African stuff, look up an Aboriginal Australian. Look up indigenous Australians and look at what they look like. They're black Australians. And these people don't come from Africa. They've always been in Australia. So if Aboriginal Australians can look like that, look up Aboriginal Pacific Islanders. If they can look like that and they're Aboriginal in their countries, why do you think that America can't have the same thing, black people being indigenous here? I'm not saying it was just black people, it was black and brown people, like Hispanic community, the Mexicans, like basically, if you really look at the Americas, it was just nothing but black and brown people. And then Columbus came, and that's when they started doing all these damn paper genocides. Walter Plecker, y'all need to look up into him. He's a big one, Walter Plecker.
Why they self-identify as Afro-Mexican, because they're acknowledging their African roots. And the government...
Afro and African do not mean the same thing. Afro just means that you're a Negro. You're just saying you got, like, long, curly hair, nappy hair people. The fro people. If you can grow a fro, you're referred to as Afro people. I don't know. People always... I think people are just so strung out with history that they just really believe this stuff. We're not from Africa, guys.
It's not bothered with them. When you watch telenovelas, Spanish telenovelas, have you ever seen a black man? No, never. But yet, black people have been there since the Europeans have been there for hundreds of years.
Actually, that's incorrect. We've been here way longer. Like, way longer than they have. When they came here, the Indians that they described that they saw look like us. That's why if you look up the term American in 1828 definition of American, it says a copper-colored Aboriginal person. If you look up what copper looks like, copper is a brown color. Copper looks very much like that color. If you applied that to people, it would look like black people. That's all I'm saying. And I mean, yeah, black people come in all shades. Some of us are brown. Some of us are almost actually the color black. I mean, we come in all shades. Some of us are albino. Like, we all come in different shades. Yeah, that's on that. Okay, this one I had to mute the audio on the original video because it was just music playing and not trying to get copyrighted, but yeah, this is facts. I know black people can relate to this heavily because this is how I feel. It's just crazy that this stuff still happens and motherfuckers know they losing their jobs and businesses. Still do it. I told you. They were going to play victim. The biggest victims out there are the ones doing the oppressing. According to them. They're saying they experienced racism, something they created.
Right here, buddy. Right here. Tell me what you were doing. Burning out racing through my fucking neighborhood. Burning out racing through my fucking neighborhood.
Like I said, you guys need to stop being calm, cool, and collected when shit like this happens to you. When people get in your face like that, you have to match their energy so that they can calm down, because they know, like, when you are calm, cool, and collected when people are being real aggressive with you, what it does, it allows them to, they feel like they got the power over you at that point. And that's why I say they tell you you shouldn't meet nobody with their energy, and I'm like, absolutely, you should, every time. If people come up to you aggressively and they're trying to basically threaten you and get all in your face, you need to give them that same type of energy. When you give them that same type of energy, everything changes. Because now they know you really about it, and they're like, okay. Like, because I ain't gonna lie, I've seen situations like that happen. Because I'm a calm, cool, and collected type person, and then I done had situations where I had to flip out at people. And I ain't gonna lie, when I did, I didn't feel no type of way about it. But the way I would do it, since I'm a bigger dude, most people aren't my size. I'm about 5'11", 200 and some pounds. I'm bigger, like I'm fit, like I'm not, just not bad weight, but the way I carry the weight, I kind of will, I ain't gonna say I threaten people, but like when people kind of give me, like when people get at me and they give me that type of energy where they coming at me a certain type of way, I'll come at them really aggressively so that they calm it down. Because if they don't, and if I gotta get active, I will. Like, trust me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a small dude. Like, I say it like this, my goal, the way I think, if I ever have to get in a fight and defend myself, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. My goal is, well, the way I think of it like this. If I get in a fight with somebody, it's like me and them are locked in a room and only one of us can get out. And if with that that's the mentality I got. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be the one that's getting out. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Well, actually, I'm not sorry. Like, if you get in a fight with me, I'm not sorry. I will get out of that. It is what it is. And I mean, hey, I'm the one that's leaving the room. If you stuck in the room, it is what it is. I don't care. But that's my feeling on that. But y'all see how this man is handling this? All I'm saying is he should be threatening. I ain't gonna lie, I'd be threatening to swing on him. I'd be like, get in my face again, I'm gonna swing at your punk ass. That's what I would have said. Stand in front of me again. I'd be like, say that shit to my face. I come at them with that type of energy. And if they bout it, they bout it. But they might get smacked. They gonna get smacked being about it, but it is what it is.
Out of my neighborhood, fuckwad. Who got a gun? Who got the gun? The guy who's got a permit to carry it. You got a gun?
You're the one that would get a gun.
All right.
Get out of this neighborhood.
All right.
Get out of this neighborhood.
To that lady who was holding the camera, yelling at him, you were retarded. Like, you're literally recording yourself, canceling yourself. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, I mean, but people, I mean, one thing I do like about these videos, though, I like the fact that it shows you racism is still out there. People can't deny it now. Like, I mean, it's footage. You can't deny that.
Smash the fucking window. Smash the window.
I ain't gonna lie. It can be 5 dudes outside or not. If one motherfucker were to smash the window on my car, and I know who did it, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna beat that motherfucker to the until somebody pull me off that motherfucker, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Somebody did me some shit like that to me, bro. Cause I ain't gonna lie. Somebody getting hurt just because they did that. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not a real violent person, but yeah, that's the moment where somebody's gonna get hurt.
Got an afro. This is an afro right here. Or somewhat of an afro. It's not big, no. But they want us to wear skin head. What they call it, high and tight. High and tight. It's not my culture. Am I right around? They come over here. They get, all right, a Vietnamese girl. She called me a nigger. A Vietnamese girl. I know it's not part of their language. Can't nobody tell me that's part of their language. But I'm gonna go over here. The beast, you know that. See, we go over here, we fight. Okay, we fight to defend the water we drink, the land we grow our food on, and our way of culture. We also fight to protect Rockefeller's foundations. We fight to protect J.P. Kennedy's foundation. All these different kind of foundations that the black man can't partake of.
Is because I'm like, it's crazy. These are people who literally fought for the country. And these people are talking about the racism they got to deal with. Like, let that sink in. These people are risking their lives for people. Just for them same people they risking their lives for to hate them. And people ask me, why didn't I join the military? That's why. That's exactly why I didn't join the military. I'm glad I was smart enough not to join the military. This is why I say to any black person thinking about joining the military, if you don't have a situation where you need to go into the military, you're not going to the military. Like, I'm sorry. If you're not in one of them situations where the military is all you got, don't go to the military, because the military won't do you any good. You're still a black man, and you're still going to fight for people who hate you, and they'll never love you. no matter what you do, you can do everything right. You will still be hated. But if you do everything right for them, you'll be considered one of their good ones. And I say it like this: as a black man, if you one of their good ones, you're no good.
Then we go back, we're continuously harass. It's not necessary. This ain't what we heard, this is what we know. See, we've seen it from the bird's eye point of view. We are the people here now, see. We see it now. This ain't what we heard, you know.
Also, I know y'all haven't been out in the Ville. Now, just like you said, these Oriental people don't know.
Please like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy A6. I was gonna upload this on my other channel, but I think I'm gonna keep this on the A6 channel just because I was cussing a little bit. And I mean, my main channel's already shut up, so I don't really care.